Dear students, good afternoon. Gunesh Arya, Prabhas Sharma, and Rishu. Good afternoon to all of you. Why not today we study group discussion? What is group discussion all about? And what are the do's and don'ts of group discussion, right? So, dear students, let's study group discussion today. What are the formalities and what are the requirements, what we are supposed to do, what we are not supposed to do in participating in a group discussion, right? So let's see what happens. Let's discuss it. Okay. So, dear students, group discussion is basically wanted while taking admission in a college or a good college, or and group discussion is also required when you go to the second stage of any competitive exams. The first stage you must be knowing, it's a written test, right? So once you clear the written test, like NDA and other examinations, right? Uh, MBA, MBA also and all that. Okay, what happens once you clear the written examination? You need to go for the group discussion phase. So group discussion basically is, as from the name, as you can understand, it's a discussion in a group, and there will be a topic given to the group, and the group has to discuss about the topic, and one camera will be installed there in that particular room, and the evaluators, or you can say the jury, or the judges will observe you from another room, right? From another room on the video. Okay, on the through the camera they will observe your discussion. Okay, so this is what is the formality of group discussion, and what is it all about? How does group discussion differ from debate? Okay, so, and how do they sit? The participants, as you can see here, the participants sit facing each other almost in a semicircle and express their views on the given topic or issue or problem. Right? So they sit facing each other, because if you do not sit facing each other, in that case you cannot maintain the eye contact, which is very important for any kind of discussion, right? So be it debate, be it discussion, a group discussion, or be it any kind of discussion, you know, keeping an eye contact is very important with the participants, right? So the participants sit facing each other almost in a semicircle and express their views on the given topic or issue or problem. Now the question comes, how does the group discussion differ from a debate? Let's find out here. So as you can see, uh, debate is competitive in nature, while group discussion is a cooperative group process. Okay, right. So there is less competition in group discussion. Group discussion is a kind of a cooperative effort by the by each member of the group. Right. In a debate, a speaker can speak either for the topic or against the topic, whereas in a group discussion, the speaker can express both. That is the main difference between group discussion and a debate. In a debate, a speaker has to speak either for the topic or against the topic, right? But in a group discussion, a speaker can express both, like for the motion also, for the topic also, the speaker can express, as well as against the topic also the speaker can express. The final decision or result in a debate depends on voting, while in a GD, the group reaches group consensus. Okay, so final decision or the result in a debate depends on voting, whereas in a GD, what happens? The group reaches a group consensus. Means the decision of a problem or resolution of the problem takes place with the opinion of each and every person in a group discussion. So the major difference between group discussion and debate is that in a group discussion you have you can speak on either aspect of the topic. Okay, uh, both the aspects of the topic, like for also you can speak, against also you can speak, whereas in a debate you've got to speak either for the motion or for the topic or against the topic. Okay, now the question is, why is a group discussion an important activity at college level, right? So it is important because it improves your thinking, listening, and speaking skills. Right. It also promotes your confidence level. Okay. It is an effective tool in problem solving, decision making, personality assessment. Right. So the assessors or the experts will see whether you have problem solving skill, whether you have a decision making skill, whether you have uh, personality, problem solving, decision making, then language skill, right? So all this they see your overall personality. GD skills may ensure academic success, popularity, and good admission or job offer. Okay, so if you are able to be a good communicator with a lot of logic and reason, then you can also land up for yourself, land up to a good job, okay, or good admission in a good college or a university. Thus, it is important to be able to take part in a GD effectively and confidently. Participants should know how to speak with confidence, how to exhibit leadership skills, and how to make the group achieve the goals. Okay, so now you see there are four major areas of evaluation of a group discussion. What are these major areas? We shall discuss in short. Okay, let us discuss in short what are the major areas, okay, which are taken into consideration while you participate in a group discussion. Number one is subject knowledge, right? So participants must possess a thorough understanding of the topic on which they are supposed to speak. You need to have a very good knowledge of the content, dear students. So can anyone tell me, can anyone text me the resources, any two resources that I have already referred to you yesterday for sort of enhancing your knowledge of current affairs or content knowledge on contemporary issues. So can anyone tell me the two relevant and authentic sources of content gathering? I'm waiting for your response, dear students. Can you please text me the two most reliable content resources from where you can upgrade your knowledge of current affairs, right? Or you can upgrade your knowledge of content from two resources. I have given reference of both of them yesterday. Yes, Shimant is correct. When Shimant says Rajya News Channel, you are absolutely correct, Shimant. Okay, so one is like Arya Singh also said RSTV, right? Uh, yes, and in among the podcasts, Tanvi, among the podcasts you can go to Aaj Tak. You can type on Spotify. Okay, you download Spotify, uh, and you download Spotify and search for Ask That Radio, and there are two programs. Okay, one is say Din Bhar. Okay, Din Bhar at 7 p.m. And Aaj Ka Dil, something like the Aaj Ke Din or something is there in the morning actually. Okay, so morning you don't have time, so you can watch Din Bhar. After 7 p.m. you can watch, if you are busy in studies, then you can watch the next day. Okay, next day after your class gets over, you can watch. Okay, so there are two channels. If you are interested in listening, you can listening Ask the Radio, and the program is Din Bhar. Okay, there are many programs available. Tech News is also there. Like playlists are there. You can just go through the playlists, okay, after going to Ask the Radio. Okay. So dear students, content knowledge you will get from there. Okay. In addition to that, you can like nowadays, like you don't have much of time to study to read the current affairs. So why not you watch it for 15 minutes, right? Then you will be able to know many things. Okay, so you must prepare yourself to talk on a wide range of subjects, right? Be abreast of the current events, national and international affairs, burning social and economical topics. Burning means current social and economical topics, scientific and environmental issues. Okay, so dear students, they are very, very important. These topics are very, very important. Please do remember that these topics are very, very important. So which are these topic? Which are these topic? These are on economical topics, burning social and economical topics, scientific and environmental topics. Then national, international affairs. Okay, all this. Next, as a member of the group, you are expected to contribute substantially to the discussion. The originality of your ideas, your knowledge and initiative, and your approach to the topic or case contribute to your success in the group discussion. Okay, so you need to have original ideas. Okay, like from Rajya Sabha or from Ask the Radio, you shall get some kind of information, but your original idea is also required along with this information, right? Because the originality of your ideas, your opinion will be taken into consideration there. Next, you see, the best way to equip yourself is to read daily newspapers, good magazines, national and international journals, and also watch news bulletins and informative programs on the television. Internet is the greatest boon which provides you with everything you are looking for. The World Wide Web is a vast database of current authentic materials that present information in multimedia form and reacts instantly to users' input. Dear students, after that, let us come to oral communication skill. That is very important. If subject knowledge is important, communication skill is more important. Dear student, communication skill is more important. Remember, communication skill is more important, as without expression, knowledge is of no value. So, without expression, knowledge is of no value. So, that is the reason as to why you need to also develop your communication skill. As the exchange of ideas in a group discussion takes place through speech, one of the prerequisites success in a ability to speak confidently and convincingly. You have to be able to speak confidently and convincingly. Okay, that is one of the very important criteria. Okay, of communication skills. Good communication skills include active listening, clarity of thought and expression, apt language, and proper non-verbal clues. Okay, so, dear students, good communication skill refers to active listening. First of all, you have to listen to others to be able to tell, right? To be able to contribute. Clarity of thought. Your thought must be very clear. Whatever you are going to speak, apt language, appropriate language you must use, and proper non-verbal clues. Proper non-verbal clues means here proper non-verbal like gestures and all that, right? Because gestures are very important in communication skill, right? So these are some of the things that you need to take care of when it comes to good communication skill. Next, listening skill. One of the weaknesses of most of the one of the weaknesses of most of the human beings is that we love to listen to our own voice rather than listen to others. Listening is as important as speaking in a GD. Unless you listen, you cannot contribute to the stated purpose of communication, right? So, listening is very important because if you do not listen, you cannot express yourself, right? So, it is extremely important to listen very carefully. Only then you will be able to pick up the thread of discussion. You will be able to pick up the thread of discussion and continue. Only active participation as a listener in a group makes a person good leader. A leader is identified by the panel. So instead of always talking, you even listen. Okay. When your turn comes, you have to speak, and but you have to be a very good listener, because if you listen only, then you can argue politely, or you can express your ideas, okay, clearly. So that is important. Then clarity of thought and expression. Your thoughts should be clear enough. Only when your expressions are clear, you can convince your team and the panel, right? That is why thought process should be very, very clear. More than words, it is the tone in which they are spoken that conveys the message. So when you speak, you be polite in your tone, okay? Be polite in your expression, but loud enough for everyone to hear you, right? So that is very important. Only yeah, spoken, only fluency won't help you. Your expression, good expression involves your clarity of voice, then polite expression, right? And loudness enough, okay, loud enough for others to hear you, right? More than words, it is the tone in which they are spoken that conveys the message. You should not be too loud or too soft. A lively and cheerful voice with appropriate modulation will attract the audience. Modulation is very important, dear students. It's very, very important that you maintain appropriate modulation. So, what is modulation? Modulation means the rising and lowering of the tone is called modulation. Like, for example, you've taken my book, haven't you? Right, so you see there is a modulation in the voice, okay? So whenever you interact with people, make sure that you have appropriate modulations in your speech. Then it appears or sounds to be very, very sweet, and it attracts the attention of the listeners as well. So you need to sort of have a very lively and cheerful voice, polite expression, and appropriate modulation. So these are some of the ingredients of a very good expression. So please work on your accent also. You please work on your modulation power, work on your vocab, and also work on your tone. Like it should be in polite in language, and it should be having appropriate modulation. Proper articulation of words achieved through phonetic accuracy is also very essential thing. Artificial accents can be avoided. Artificial accents can be avoided. You can speak in neutral Indian accent. There is nothing wrong in that, but that should be clear, right? Language should be very, very appropriate. Means appropriate, right? Use simple language you use and avoid long winding sentences. Appropriateness of language demands. Okay, dear students, so as you can see here, appropriateness of language demands that there should be no errors of grammar. Okay, so it's better you do not make any grammatical error while you interact with people. Do not use unfamiliar phrases and flowery language. Do not use very difficult language which people cannot understand. Use simple language, but in a tone which is appropriate, and use the appropriate word. If you use a very high flown word and which is beyond the comprehension of the participants, then they will not be able to understand you. Therefore, you have to use the simple words also. And proper non-verbal clues also you've got to use. Non-verbal clues means eye contact, body movements, gesture, and facial expressions. Right. So when you are interacting in a group, use proper eye contact, body movements, gesture, and facial expressions. The panel very keenly watches the non-verbal behavior of the team. Non-verbal aspect of your presentation is also evaluated by the panel. Okay, panel of judges, right? They generally evaluate the body language cues of the team to determine personality factors like nervousness, cooperation, frustration, weakness, insecurity, self-confidence, defensiveness. So this is what is expressed through your body language. Therefore, they see all these body language attributes also, right? A candidate who appears professional is more likely to be noticed by the panel. You should keep your cool, be professional, and whatever you speak, speak with clarity, right? Have appropriate body language and have politeness in your tone. And when your turn comes, only you should speak. You should not interrupt others. When others are speaking, it is a bad manner to interrupt others. So you should not interrupt others, right? Team behavior, you see, your group behavior is reflected in your ability to interact with the other members of the group. You must be mature enough to not lose your temper, even if you are proved wrong. You must be patient and balanced, right? So even if some of the participants sometimes speak something which goes against you, okay, then also you need to keep your patience and not lose your temperament, like right, that is important. Okay, so your success is a GD in a GD depends on how well you play the role of initiator, information seeker, information giver, procedure facilitator, opinion seeker, opinion giver. All this means whenever your turn comes, you have to speak, and you how do you facilitate the process of conversation. Like it should not be like that you only dominate the conversation. Okay, you facilitate conversation for others also, so that is also important. And also how are you how you are a good information seeker. If you do not know anything, you can take the opinion of other member. Okay, so that is what is information seeker. Information giver, whatever best you know on the topic, you should share with the group members, right? So in a very cool and balanced manner, if you take your turn, when your turn comes, if you facilitate others to speak, if you seek information from other participants, if you take their opinion, as well as if you give your opinion in a very group friendly manner, in that case you are likely to be selected by the panel of judges. Okay, so the selection panel notes the differences in amount of participation of the members. Okay, differences in the amount of participation in the members, like if you are sitting very quietly for the entire duration of the discussion, then you shall not be selected. Okay, even when your turn is not there, whenever somebody is speaking and he is seeking some clarification, you can sort of participate. Okay, you can participate in the discussion. You should not sit just quiet in the discussion. They observe the silent spectators, the every dominating but not contributing much. Okay, um, they observe who is the silent spectator. Who is the silent spectator? So there is a negative mark for him. Who is dominating but not contributing? His marks will be less. Member who participates actively, member who participates actively are member who participates actively is also taken into consideration, exhibiting his knowledge and the moderate ones. Your ability lies in analyzing the problem well and making others to endorse your view. Okay, so you need to um, present yourself in such a manner so that others also endorse your view. Endorse means support your view. Finally, while appreciating others' point of view, you should effectively present yours without contradicting others' opinion. Your ability in convincing the team is your success. Okay. So if you are able to convince your team, if you are able to convince your team, with your points, then of course your success is guaranteed, right? Your success is guaranteed. Okay. Okay. Then leadership skill, right? A good leader should neither be very authoritative nor submissive, but must be democratic. Okay, that is what is important. Success of any team depends on, to a great extent, on its leader. The panel evaluates a candidate's personal skills, which allow him to prove himself as a natural leader in the GD. So you should be a leader. And how can you be leader? You can be leader only when you can contribute with information, only when you can facilitate the process of discussion, only when you listen to others, and only when you come forward to resolve a particular issue, right? Only then you can become a thing leader. So what are the advantages of a GD? Ideas can be generated, groups provide a support and growth for any endeavor, combine talents to provide innovative solutions. And roles: initiator, information seeker and giver, procedure, facilitator, opinion seeker, then the tension reliever, energizer, Okay, not dominator. Okay, expectations of the panel: team player. You have to be team player. You have to be having reasons or logic. You have to be leader, flexible, assertive. Then you are listening. You should be inspiring in quality. And what are the phases in LGD? Initiation or introduction, the central group discussion, summarization or conclusion is also important. Okay, so uh, let us recapitulate and wind up our topic, dear students. What to do in a GD? Speaking is important. Do not sit silently, speak freely. Right? Number one. Number two, do not monopolize the conversation or talk too much. Right? Let others also talk. Give them chance to talk. Give everyone a chance to speak. Maintain eye contact with everyone in the group. Show active listening skills, very important. You need to show active listening skills, dear students. It is very, very important that you show active listening skills. Do not interrupt anyone while they are speaking. Okay. Uh, Encourage someone. Do not argue with anyone. Okay. Then do not repeat what has been said. Be attentive. Try to develop on ideas expressed or give out new ideas. Right. Do not commit grammatical errors while talking. Okay. So these are some of the do's and don'ts of these red colors are the don'ts actually. Here this is also don'ts. Okay. And do's are: speaking is important, speak freely. Next, give everyone a chance to speak. Maintain eye contact with everyone in the group. Okay, and encourage people who is silent to talk. So these things will add to your own points. Okay, like encourage someone who is silent to talk. Encourage, then it will give you positive. You can earn some positive point for you. Okay, then keep the topic on track and don't be irrelevant. Okay, keep the topic on track. Then you shall get more marks. Right. Clarify your doubts and then proceed, and then be brief, very important. Just don't blah blah, you have to be brief, very brief in your presentation. Okay, so dear students, I hope some of the characteristics of the GD, I have discussed some do's and don'ts and what are the qualities you need to develop to be able to participate in a group discussion. So we shall conduct a group discussion, might be next week. So I shall let you know, dear students. Okay, in advance I will give you topic. You please prepare, and let's go for a group discussion on, on Google Classroom in the next week, right? So please do prepare accordingly. I shall forward you the topic shortly. So before we wind up, can you kindly text me your presence? You can text me your presence, and then we shall wind up, right? So dear students, it's time to wind up. Are you there? Okay, thank you, Vinit, Nidhi, Tanvi, Bhuneshwar, Arya Singh, Pravas, Arya Dwivedi, Sadvika, Gaurav, Kalyani, Riya, Mayur, Prakhar, Siman. Okay, Pravas, Suhani, Bhuneshwar, Shubham, Mansi, Vadyasri. Thank you so much. Gaurav, Sadvika, Asutosh, Arya, Uday. Okay, Vagyasri Manch. Okay. Thank you so much, dear students. Bye bye. And hopefully, we shall conduct a group discussion in the next week. That is very important, dear students. Very important. You need to develop this skill. Thank you, Rishu. Thank you. Okay. Bye bye. Take care.